Hi guys, so we are here with Philly today. We are just doing a bit of a training style video with Philly as she's just progressed absolutely out of sight since she's been here with us. So Ben's just doing a bit of flat work. He does have a jumping saddle, so I might pop some fences for you guys too. So yeah, we're just going to have a little look at what she's working on. So Philly has been generally a bit more on the lazy side, but she looks very forward there today. I think she's just, and I mean lazy in the sense of she was just green, and she's very quiet and relaxed. So when she feels a little quiet, you know, she's just not really that much of a hot horse, but we've been really working on getting her in front of the leg, and I think that has finally started to stick just in the last week, which is super cool. So now that Ben has that much you know, really good forward rhythm there, consistently in front of the leg, it's probably time to start working on a little bit more suppleness, which will in turn help him get a little bit more of a secure connection to the bridle. So so there you can see, just made a transition, and you can see she's a little behind the leg, and sometimes if you get stuck into her and ask her to go forward again, she might come off the bit, but we have to remember that that forward reaction is, you know, more important than anything. And it's hard for her to really stay fully connected and engaged and push from that walk trot transition still. She's still a little weak in that sense and developing strength in her hindquarters. So Ben, let's get her a little bit more in front like you had her before the transitions. This is another thing she's at a stage of learning. Sometimes when you ask for that real big trot, she'll try and canter. We have to remind her that a lazy canter isn't a substitute for a forward trot. It's an evasion. So you'll see there, if she does that, Ben will kind of kick her sideways a little bit and help her find her way. We don't want to pull back when she does that, because that sort of teaches her, well, she kind of gets what she wants. She doesn't have to go forward. Whereas if we yield her laterally, you know, to push her out, then she kind of has to engage and keep that ground cover and length of stride. So yeah, Ben, I just want a little bit more around your inside leg if you've got her forward. So she's still learning that 2 legs means forward, so you can see Ben gets that, and then he'll go 1 leg means sideways. Yeah, good. And then she might back off the forward a bit, so it might be like, you know, 2 legs, get her going, little sideways, and just managing that between what she's, you know, able to give at that time. And as she becomes more supple through her ribs, then she seems to settle a little bit more into the contact. All right, good, super. We might change rein, Ben, and I will expect when Ben changes the rein, he might lose a little bit of this straightness and forward. The left rein is her straighter direction. The right rein, she tends to fall out a little bit through the left shoulder to the outside. It's got a lot better, especially in the trot. Can still happen a little bit in the canter, so be mindful of that. Good. Super. Good. And I think she's started, I haven't ridden her for probably a week. Ben's been taking care of her here. It's looking now like things have shifted a little bit and we need a bit more inside flexion. So what we're going to do, Ben, we're going to bring that circle down a little bit. So we're going to turn onto a smaller circle, carry that right hand, and we're going to push her away from that right leg. And at this stage of her training, guys, it's really just the fact that she moves off the leg. If she comes off the bit, who cares? Like, it's more, if he puts that inside leg on, she should be going, okay, I need to move away, and she should not be getting faster from the inside leg on its own. If we wanted her to get faster, we would put both legs on. So now, Ben, every time she feels like you don't have enough right flexion, I want you to chuck a small circle. And the challenge with her is that small circles previously would have lost a lot of forward, but you can see Ben's doing a really good job to actually keep quite a bit of rhythm up on those smaller circles now and staying there until he's happy. Then he'll come out and he'll keep that bend for as long as he can. But when he starts to lose it, yeah, you'll see him pop. And you can see that she drops that, you know, kind of pops that shoulder there a little bit at the start, fishtails a little through the hind end, just trying to block that perfect bend on the inside. Okay, so we just stopped for a second because Ben felt he would like to carry a dressage whip. So we have been, she responds really well to that. She's not an overly sensitive horse at all. So, you know, the whip we use not, we're finding it quite easy to keep enough power in the hindquarters, but the straightness this way, now he's just trying to pick up that right shoulder. So when he's trying to reinforce his right leg, or 1 leg means sideways aid, he can tap her on the shoulder to back it up. Good, good, good. Move across. Yeah, beautiful. And you can just see, like, even carrying that whip, even though he's using it more to, you know, reinforce the sideways aid, that amount of straightness that it's giving him is allowing him to get a little bit more, that straightness sort of promotes that, you know, elasticity and ease of moving forward. When she gets a little more crooked, it can be hard to, you know, keep that amount of forward, you know, if she's falling in or falling out or whatever. So that, you know, getting that little bit more straightness makes everything sort of aligns the body in a way that she feels that she can easily cover the ground, move forward, and use her whole body a little more. All right, cool, Ben. So let's go left rein. We're going to have a left canter. That looks good. So now Ben will keep that whip in the outside shoulder there, because even though I started talking about it one way, it seems that it's she's swapped again. You know, young horses sometimes do that. They'll, whatever way they're falling in or out, you go hard and correct that, and then they swap over and kind of plateau on one side and the other side will skyrocket forward. Good. She has an excellent canter. I don't think she'd done much cantering under saddle before she came here, and even like the first time, because she was a bit gangly and awkward, she's come a long way since then. And the first time I cantered, I expected her to just be like so unbalanced and wobbly, and she just absolutely nailed it. She's really comfortable to sit on. Got really good natural paces. Well done. Good. She's probably almost at a stage to start a little bit of adjustability in this canter. Like, I reckon Ben can probably go a bit more now. Get her a bit more going, cover the ground. It'll be hard. We haven't really tried this. This is probably new. I'm probably asking. Maybe, Ben, can you make a circle somewhere and then see if you can use that to balance the canter a little bit and then go forward again? Get her really forward first. That's it. Yeah, I think go. Have a go. Bit more forward. Bit more forward. There. And now pop a circle somewhere. Good. We'll just see. This is a test for her. She might drop out. Good, and we're just using that, the line of the circle, just to find a little balance. Perfect. Good, come to trot, we'll canter the other way. Really good. Really nice and straight in this canter. Lovely. Other way. Good. Super. She does like to canter too, so when she gets it on the brain, she might do a little bit of extra cantering. But as I said, she's not allowed to do that if it's an answer to when you ask for more trot. Good. All right. Just stay in trot for a lap here, Ben, because it looks like now you've got a bit more forward. She's a bit more around that right leg, so I just want to show that. Yep. So guys, whenever there's any inconsistencies in that contact there, it's a reflection of what's going on behind, okay? So it's not really about, you know, anything in the front. We need to think about, okay, we probably need more impulsion. Given that she's more of a lazy horse generally, we need to look at what the hind leg's doing. So chances are she needs a little bit of a correction there. And to get a bit more impulsion, you know, sometimes it is, for a young horse, it is just asking for more, you know, even just a little bit more speed at that point, and then you can slow it down and find swing. Okay, but impulsion is essentially contained energy, really. So we need to go forward and just get that energy from wherever we can. And with the young horses, maybe that does mean a little bit of speed for a second. The good mover like her, it's always going to be, you know, she's never going to look flat and fast, really. She's just going to get more ground cover, but it can be, yeah, sometimes just thinking if she's getting a little inconsistent in the contact, what can I do? What is she coming through from behind enough? Do I need to speed up those hind legs a little bit, get a bit more forward, and then ask again and use that to sort of find a better connection? Very good. Good, I'm really happy with that. Do you want to canter around and pop the crossbar on that other side? So, okay, so we're just getting Ben and Philly having a little jump to show you guys how much that has progressed. Many of you would have seen her jump on Instagram. I think hundreds of thousands of people saw those reels of her learning how to jump when she was being really cute and awkward. She's got very confident since then, and she's really scopy. She's got, yeah, a great attitude towards jumping. Ben would love to hang on to this one, I think. So hopefully she finds a wonderful home where she can pursue this a little bit. So it's good even there, you know, I know that was an awkward jump, but you can see she's starting to have the strength that she can sit up and make that deep swap. Ben just really stays out of her way, and he's kind of encouraging her to start to develop her own sense of, you know, like her own initiative when she jumps a little bit. Good. So if she gets a little deep, well, that's up to her to sort it out. If she has it down from that, then she'll learn, hopefully, and she is sharp like that. I go the other way. So he tries not, at this stage, not to help her out too much, you know. It's not about getting it perfect every time. It's about her learning to develop her own technique. If she's probably more likely to end up in an eventing home or a dressage home than a straight show jumping home. So what she needs to learn at this early stage, you know, if we're preparing her as an eventer, is that if she misses, you can just see Ben showing you that she's maintaining her own independent rhythm there, and she's not getting hot with all the jumping. Good. But yeah, she develops her own sense of figuring stuff out if it goes, you know, if you have a miss, because, you know, when you're on cross country and you have a miss, horses have to be sharp, or that's when it gets dangerous, you know. So that's what he always has in mind when he's producing eventers. She hasn't jumped this brush jump before, she's not quite ready for that, but she still looks a bit scary, but you can see her approach to something new. Good girl. She's very sensible, doesn't get too rattled. Good girl, Philly. So when we are ready to tackle the brush, we'll probably almost lie it down flat and get her jumping over it almost like on the ground. But firstly, she has to get comfortable with just like seeing it. It's quite scary up there, and we haven't had it set up before recently, so she wouldn't have seen it. Good gal. Do a couple this way. Good gal. Super. And just see Ben working a little bit. There's a bit of a drift happening there, so he's just helping her stay straight. Trying to get her to flex left a little bit. Good. That's alright. You can see she's good girl. Super. Is there any other jumps you want to do today, Ben? Awesome.